guys, happy Father's Day and welcome back to another Sunday episode. Today we're going to be talking about the main fathers that we hear about in the main Harry Potter series. So I'm not going to talk about every father ever, but we're going to talk about our faves. Sorry if it's a little dark in here. I'm filming this at like 10 o'clock at night, so it'll be up. Like I said, we're going to go through our favorite fathers that we hear about in the main Harry Potter series. We are going to do a fun fact about each of them, and then I'm going to generally go in order of my personal favorite dads. The first father I'm going to talk about is Amos Diggory, the father of Cedric Diggory, and he's going to be my number one dad just because my heart breaks for him, and I love him in Goblet of Fire, I love him in the books, I love him in the movies. And personally, at the very beginning of Goblet of Fire, when Arthur is like, when everybody's looking at, I'm not explaining this well, hold on. It's specifically in the movies when Arthur yells, "Stop, that's my son," when all of the ministry is shooting stunning spells around the trio because they think they're the ones that cast the dark mark, even though that's not necessarily what happened in the books. It happens in the movies, and to me, I always cry when Arthur says that, because in my mind, it's just foreshadowing to the end of the movie, and I think that's how the director is kind of meant for it to be. Not a ton is known about Amos Diggory. He was in the Department for Regulation of Magical Creatures. He worked for the Ministry. He worked in Magical Creatures, and we see him a couple times in Hogwarts Mystery. He gets Hagrid a birthday gift. He, as Jacob's sibling, helps him pick like a fire crab, and two other things. It was like 3 different little creatures that he could have given Hagrid for his birthday. But that's a little Hogwarts Mystery fun fact about him. And actually in Goblet of Fire, when Moody was being kidnapped by Barty Crouch Jr. and Voldemort and Peter Pettigrew, he had actually called for help to Amos Diggory, who thought it was just like a false alarm from a paranoid Moody. But other than Hogwarts Mystery and Goblet of Fire, we really don't know anything about him, but I don't know. I just like putting him at the top because my heart breaks for him, and yeah, we're not going to talk about it because then I'm going to cry, and then Laurel's going to cry, and then we're all going to cry. My next favorite dad is Xenophilius Lovegood. I love him so much, and it always is crazy to me that he is wearing the Deathly Hallows mark, which was also Grindelwald's symbol for everything that he did. So it's has such strong negative connotations, so strong that Krum is very disturbed by the fact that he is wearing this necklace at Bill and Fleur's wedding, because Krum has seen it. Krum knows the history of Grindelwald from going to Durmstrang, because Grindelwald went to Durmstrang and was actually kicked out. But I love Xenophilius. I love him. He is so kooky and crazy, and he loves Luna so much. And I think him and Luna have such a wonderful, pure, happy relationship. And it just so much reminds me of my best friend, Emily, and her relationship with her dad. And I love him. I love him. So Amos Diggory just automatically gets first because it's a really sad, tragic story because he lost his son. And Xenophilius is actually my favorite. I also just really love him because he's conspiracy theorist. He is the conspiracy theorist. Even just from following stories, literally, oh my gosh, what was the creature he was talking about in Order of the Phoenix, where it just gave me such Bigfoot vibes, where he was no, this creature is real, it was seen. And everybody's okay, dude. Oh my gosh. No, the conspiracy theorist. But adorable fact, I really need to go into Pandora's life story. If you don't know, Pandora is Xenophilius' wife, Luna's mother. He was sorted into Ravenclaw, and they actually met in the astronomy tower, and that's where they met and fell in love. And I love their story. I need to do that soon. It's been requested, and I need to get to it. Arthur Weasley should totally be at the top, but I love Xenophilius too much. But next is Arthur. He is super cool, and I think it is an actually beautiful moment when in Deathly Hallows, when Ron is just so attached to his radio, knowing his dad fixed it up it was him. To me, it was just such a sweet moment of Ron finally appreciating his dad. After being bullied by Malfoy for years about what his dad did, Ron never really acted he was embarrassed his family didn't have money. He was always embarrassed about that. But the the whole family was. It wasn't that they were embarrassed of their father. They always stood by him. They always loved him. And the family was very loyal to each other. And it's a very sweet moment. And I really like that full circle when we see Ron really appreciate his father and what he does with Muggle artifacts. But I mean, the fact that he worked in the misuse of Muggle artifacts department and then made a car, a magic car, when that is like literally a violation of his job, and he's like, I don't plan on using it. It just sits in my garage. But like technically the kids using it was like so out of bounds. But Arthur was just like, no, it's just gonna sit in the garage. I just made it for fun. I'm not gonna use it, so you can't be mad at me. Is my fan shaking my phone? Sorry if that camera was annoying, if it was shaking. My fan is like directly above my tripod where my phone is, and honestly, it's 10:34 at night. I'm tired. I'm not refilming that. I just hope it didn't bother you. And if you can hear the cat toy, my cat wants to play with me, so we're gonna get through this video. But fun little fact about Arthur Weasley that you would probably know if you listen to my family tree on the Noble House of Black family history. But Arthur Weasley's mother is Cedrella Black. So he is very closely related to the Black family, and she got disowned for marrying his father, which I knew his name, and now I don't know his name. But she got disowned for marrying his father because they were considered blood traitors because they like totally renounced the Sacred 28. Also, I really like this one because Arthur's nickname for Molly is Molly Wobbles. Next, we're going to talk about Frank Longbottom. So sorry, I'm exhausted. We're going to talk about Frank Longbottom. I never did my TikTok today. It's fine. Everything's fine. It was a busy day. I'm sorry. It's none of your business. It was a busy day. And my cat needs attention, apparently. Anyway, Frank Longbottom is who we're going to talk about next. We don't get super, super close with him in the books. We only see him in bits and pieces. Neville doesn't like to talk about them all that much. He doesn't want anybody to know what happened to them or kind of the history of his family. We also don't really get to know him because by the time we meet him, brains mush. We just see him in St. Mungo's and with his wife, and after the attack from Bellatrix, Barty Crouch Jr., Rodolphus, and Rodolphus's brother, who I can't remember his name, but it's very similar to Rodolphus. After they all attacked Frank first, and Frank defended his family, they crucioed him into madness, and then they went after Alice. So Frank lost his mind protecting the Wizarding World, protecting his son, protecting his family, and Frank is a wonderful father. Now I want to talk about the cute little circle that goes from Remus Lupin being a father figure for Harry, Uncle Moony that he was supposed to be, and it breaks my heart, but being a father figure and a friend to Harry, to then actually becoming a father to Teddy, actually becoming a good father despite being horrified of ever having a child, never wanting a child, being terrified of passing on the lycanthropy to his child, being relieved that his child only had the metamorphosis from his mother, was still magical, still had some wonderful qualities. He loved his son very much, only knew him for a tragically sickening short amount of time before giving his life for his son, and knowing that his son would one day understand because he watched Harry understand his parents' sacrifice. So Remus, in my mind, was able to die in peace because he saw Harry survive the exact thing that he was leaving his son in. Which, on the other side of the coin, is really tragic and screwed up because he literally watched Harry go through that and now his son's gonna go through it. But I digress. Anyway, my favorite full circle moment is that Harry becomes a father, and Harry becomes a wonderful father, and he loves James and Lily. He only had the 2 kids, right? Why? I'm so tired. I'm so tired. He loves his children incredibly, incredibly much. But as Andromeda had taken on Teddy as, taking care of him, being his caregiver, because Harry was very, very, very young when Teddy lost his parents. Once Harry has his own children, Teddy starts coming over like most nights out of the week. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, it's like 3-4 nights out of the week. Teddy's over there anyway. And then James is eventually like, he should just move in. He's here all the time, no matter what. So Remus helped Harry through his his hardships, and Harry was able to help Teddy. And it's tragic, it's sad, it's sick, but it's a really beautiful full circle moment in my mind. Fun little fact about Lupin is that the only reason he took the position at Hogwarts was because Dumbledore tracked him down after he had just been hiding out, taking crappy jobs, just thinking very low of himself. Dumbledore tracked him down and was like, "You're going to teach at the school." And Moony was like, "No." And he was like, "Yes, you are, because Snape will make you those potions." So he's like, "Okay, fine." But even after Snape snitched on him to everybody, Snape continued to make those potions for him. I guess that's more of a fun fact about Snape. But like, okay, my fun fact about Remus Lupin is that while he did not actively participate in the bullying of Snape. He simply stood idly by, even though he did not like it, but he never actively participated in it. And because of that, him and Snape had a very interesting and nice relationship. Not nice, but like they had an interesting relationship. Now that we have transcended into father figures, there are still some more fathers to go, but father figures are just as valuable and just the same. You do not have to be a father by blood to be a father. It can simply be a father figure. And Sirius Black, just seeing the way, I loved how the actors did such a good job at looking at each other with so much love. So much love. Like, I love that hug in Order of the Phoenix when Harry is so excited and Sirius is so excited. They're just so excited to see each other and they love each other so much. And Harry sees his father living through Sirius as his best friend. Like, he gets to almost know his father in a way because he knows his best friend, and Sirius gets to finally do what he wanted to do the night he lost James, was take Harry. He was his godfather. He wanted to take him. He wanted to protect him. He wanted to keep him close and love him and raise him and give him a good, happy life. But he didn't get the chance to do that. And God, I'm gonna cry. He only got a few short years with Harry, but he really did his best to make the most of it. And I think Sirius wasn't always the best person. I think he turned out wonderful in the end, and I think he was so unbelievably good to Harry. Unbelievably good. But yeah, no, I think it was Bellatrix shooting Stupefy. I think it was Bellatrix cast a Stupefy spell, and that was what knocked Sirius off into the veil. I just did a whole video on the veil on TikTok. I can get on that. Honestly, Hagrid should have been the father figure before Lupin and Sirius. I just like got on my whole like full circle moment because I really love that full circle moment. But anyway, Rubeus Hagrid. I'm the one that brought you here. I should be the one to take you away. And he got Harry his first gift, his first birthday gift. He got Harry his first birthday gift ever. And he always took care of him. He always made sure he came down for tea. He always looked out for him. Nobody could have been better than Hagrid. Literally, no one could have been a better father figure than Hagrid. Granted, he got the kids in trouble all the time. He taught them really good skills. He treated them like adults for the most part, whereas most people really treated them like kids. He still treated them like adults, but wanted to protect them at the same time. And Hagrid was just so forgetful. He loved to talk to people, and he loved having friends that actually cared about him, that he would just blabber on and tell them anything they wanted. So Hagrid is not allowed to do magic because he got expelled. So the whole Chamber of Secrets and Aragog and everybody thinking it was him, he got expelled. And when you get expelled, your wand gets broken and you're not allowed to do magic anymore. So it's not because he's a half giant. It's not because of anything other than the fact of he got expelled from Hogwarts and he lost his wand. But Dumbledore was the only one that trusted him. So Dumbledore gave him a couple little snide ways to still use magic. Barty Crouch Senior is a very interesting father figure because he was the head of magical law enforcement and his son was a Death Eater. Like, of course he's going to totally renounce his son, especially when his son is a very, 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 like, probably one of the most loyal, aside from Bellatrix, he's right up there in the most loyal Death Eaters. And he never gave up. Even when his mother's dying wish was to get him out of Azkaban so he could live a good life, he still tried to fight his father to get back to Voldemort. He's like, no, I've got to go. So he did what he had to do. He couldn't forget his dead, deceased wife's wishes. So he had to take care of his son. He had to figure out how to do this. I mean, can you imagine having no choice other than to Imperio your son? Can you imagine having to live with that weight every single day that your son is under an unforgivable curse and there's nothing you can do to save him or stop him or change his mind or keep him from going back to Voldemort or to save him or to make his mother's dying wish worth it? Like, he doesn't even get to live a good life. Like, he gets to have a lot of fun as he's, cosplaying as Moody, but other than that, I don't know. That was kind of a waste of his mother's wish to give him a better life. He didn't really have any other choice. He was put in a bad position. He wanted to protect his son. He wanted to fulfill his deceased wife's wish, but his son was a loyal Death Eater. There wasn't anything he could do. This is not going to be the most popular opinion ever, and I know that, and I know it's probably just because I'm super behind on all my fanfics, but fanfics aren't canon, So right now I'm just kind of going off of canon information, and next we're going to talk about James Potter, who I like, but also don't like at the same time, because personally I don't really get past the way he treats Snape or those memories or what we see from Snape's mind. I really don't, because he didn't live and have redeeming moments. I kind of just get stuck on that when it comes to James. I know he was a good person. I know that he cared. I know he loved Harry. I know he was an amazing, amazing father. I mean, can you just imagine how proud he would be? Can you just imagine the howler that Harry would get after James found out that his son was a first year on the Quidditch team? James would have been such a good dad. He would have loved being a dad. He would have loved being a dad, and he would have been a good one, and it just would have been so beautiful, and I hate that we didn't get that redemption moment for him, but he's not higher on the list because I kind of don't get past those memories from Snape, and that's not popular, and I'm so sorry, but that's kind of just how I feel. Lucius Malfoy was not abusive. He just wasn't. I don't like it when people call him that. He was not abusive in the books. The portrayal of him in any way was not abusive outside of the way the actor portrayed the character. And don't get me wrong, I cannot remember the actor's name, but oh my gosh, he did such a good job. And I love him as Lucius. I think he's perfect. Even the way he improvised kicking Dobby off the steps, and everybody behind the scenes was like, oh my god, we now have to CGI you kicking Dobby off the steps. What is wrong with you, you sicko? But even the fact that his actor had notes about Draco's or Tom Felton's outfits and his stuff, even the actor was a father figure to Tom Felton. And it was, Lucius was not abusive. It was just that one moment with the cane and him snapping. He was hard, he was calloused, he was cold, but he wasn't abusive. He literally spoiled the crap out of Draco. They both, his mother loved, was warm and loving and fuzzy enough for both of them, at least when it came to Draco. Absolutely no one else, but when it came to Draco, hell yeah. Sent him sweets every single day for his first little while at school. But Lucius loved him just as much. He only wanted what was best for Draco, and in the end, he chose Draco. He was a sicko. He was pretty bad. He was a really crappy person. Oh my gosh, but he was a good dad, and he made his decisions for the best, what he believed to be the best for his son. He thought he was in the right. He was wrong, but he thought he was in the right, and he thought he was doing what was best for his son. He was at all times just doing what he thought was best for Draco. Oh, I can't stop yawning at this point. Albus Dumbledore is very commonly considered a father figure for Harry. I don't really, he mentors Harry, but mentoring doesn't always mean father figure. He definitely was a father figure. Harry looked up to him. Harry loved him. He was a father figure. He definitely was. I just don't always see him that way. I really see him as a mentor, as a friend, as the old man that you find on your quest to the treasure. Gandalf. He's Gandalf. He's just leading them down the right path. He wasn't trying to father him. He wasn't really doing a whole ton for Harry's feelings. I think Dumbledore died a great, great, great man. But it wasn't like he was always like coddling Harry's feelings or hugging him all the time. He was doing what he needed to do to prepare Harry for the end in the most loving way he could, because he did truly care for him. But I love the last chapter with Dumbledore so much. Deathly Hallows King's Crossing might be one of my favorite chapters of the entire series, because it's so good. And last but never ever ever least is Vernon Dudley, and we could never get away without talking about him. He was an interesting dad. Was he a good dad? Was he a bad dad? He was pretty god-awful to Harry. And I mean, like Lucius, he did whatever his son wanted, and he did whatever he thought was best for his son. At least those kids ended up having a redemption arc in some ways and in some places, but they definitely turned out good despite their fathers, not because of their fathers. My cat's playing and I want to play with him. I'm so sorry. If you can, he has this like a little mouse, and I have so many boxes, and he's just like tapping this mouse, like ping-ponging it against all of these different boxes. It's so cute. Oh, the bunny feet. Actually, Vernon was the last one on my list. So, yeah, no, he's an interesting character, a very interesting character, because he didn't have a whole lot of redeeming qualities outside of he did very much love Dudley, and he did whatever the hell Dudley wanted him to do. To any fathers that are watching my videos, I hope you've had a truly wonderful Father's Day. I hope you know you are appreciated, and thank you for all that you do for all of your children, all father figures, all that you do for your loved ones. And thank you guys for always watching my videos. I hope you guys have somebody to hug today, but if you don't, I know that this day can be hard for some people. Not everybody has the best story. Not everybody still has a dad in their life for one reason or another. And my heart goes out to everyone that is going to have a hard time today, and just know that I love you and I care for you, and I'm proud of you and all that you do in this world. And it's not always easy to make it through, but if you're watching this video, then that means you've made it through a pretty good bit. So I'm proud of you for making it this far into your life. And I'm proud of you for all that you've accomplished. And please know that you're going to go to bed tonight and somebody is going to be proud of you, and I am proud of you. So believe in yourself, be proud of yourself, and keep working hard in your life and achieve all of your goals, and follow your heart, follow your dreams. Don't do what you think you're supposed to do or what you have to do. Literally follow your heart and you'll find your way eventually. Where's my little clicker? But I love you all very, very much. Thank you for always watching, supporting, and being there for me. I love you each very much individually and wholly with my whole heart. Words are getting hard. I'm very tired and I'm hungry and my cat needs attention, and I love you guys. Good night.